What are Manchester United doing? What is the point? Where is the mileage? How does this improve the team? On what planet does this relieve pressure? More leaks regarding the Jadon Sancho situation are absolutely pointless, nonsensical, will do nothing to improve the club. It is disgusting. Even if Sancho, in your eyes, is the problem here, even if you're triggered by him playing FIFA, he said he would do anything to play for this club. And some people are saying, well, he's not, is he? He won't apologize. He won't get off FIFA. He won't swallow his pride. So clearly, there are things that would stop him playing for this club. I understand that train of thought. But why are the club leaking this information? Everybody knows my stance on this circumstance. I do believe that the manager told the truth. I do believe that he had an issue with the training standards and timekeeping and general attitude in training of Sancho. I think he was wrong, the manager, to make this public. And that's been proven to be right because we've seen a can of worms opened. Man United are disgusting when it comes to this type of circumstance. We do it to every player, whether they're right or wrong. We start leaking information. We start to character assassinate. We start to drag that player through the mud. And I do believe that the board, by the way, this is on the board now. This has gone from being a manager and player issue to the board. I think that they believe this is a good look. It shows the player is turning against the club, and it shows the player is unprofessional, and it shows that the player is the problem. Two wrongs don't make a right. Let's just sit in the world for a moment and say people think that Sancho's in the wrong here. How is the club outing him publicly, telling us that Rashford and Shaw and Maguire have urged him to apologize? What? We don't need to know that. You're behaving unprofessionally as well. There's also information that's come out that Ten Hag has banished Sancho from all first-team facilities at Man United, including the dining room. The manager has issued an ultimatum if he wants to return. He is unhappy with that decision, but is still refusing to apologize. Again, this needs to be kept in-house. Why does the club think that it is right or acceptable for them to take this clearly personal information, private information, that does nothing to improve the team or club and circulate it, which will only create more bad blood, more bad attention towards Jadon Sancho, which won't help him and it will not help the club. There may be moral reasons, there may be logical reasons, there may be professional reasons why you think the club should do this. Well, the fans need to know the story. The fans need to know the truth. Yeah. The story had died down and gone away. Nobody's been talking about it. It did not need to come up again. Didn't need Sancho called the manager out and said he's lying and said there's double standards. There was an opportunity in a window in the international break to air all this in public. And both Sancho and the manager decided not to. It got put to bed. We know what he has to do to come back. The player can make that decision whether he apologizes and returns or leaves in January and doesn't play for the club again. Both Ten Hag and Sancho have made mistakes in this process. But where Man United, for me, are disgusting as a football club, deep down to their core, run by these Glazers, is they continue to perpetuate and throw fuel on this fire, and it doesn't need to exist. It does not help the manager. It cannot help the team. And again, it vilifies Sancho further, which we shouldn't be doing as a football club. We shouldn't be doing it. The club have vilified Sancho more than they did Mason Greenwood. The Glazers are vilifying Sancho. They vilified Ronaldo. They vilified Alexis Sanchez more than they did Greenwood. Let that sink in. These are the reasons why this club, no matter how good a manager we hire, no matter how good or bad you think the football is, no matter what we do short term, will never be successful in the medium to long term, because it's run in an absolutely disgusting and disgraceful way. It really, really is. It makes me sick.
Game over the last 35 matches, which is 3 short of a full season, is 0.8. That would get you relegated in every single Premier League season and have you finish bottom or joint bottom in the seasons 97, 98, 2005, 2009, 2011, 2014, 2015 and 2018. All right? So just think about that. All right? That's what our points tally has been. So, look, we know that's not how football works across 2 seasons, right? We've won 2 league games since Graham Potter left.
But it can work like that across 2 seasons, Jason. If the patterns are the same, if the behaviour is the same, if the attitude is the same. Because Man City, over the last 7 years, have been pretty consistent across seasons. The brilliant Chelsea teams were pretty consistent across seasons. And so far under Poch, we are seeing last season creep into this year. We absolutely are. Their biggest problem is mentality. I truly believe that. In pre-season, they were playing nice football and scoring goals. And I thought, you know what? They'll be back this year, at least into that top 6 challenge. I watched them against Liverpool and thought to myself, I know they didn't win, but, you know, you throw Caicedo and Lavia into that midfield, I think they'll be all right. They were looking good. I wouldn't say they were looking amazing, but they were looking good. And then they play West Ham, start well, get battered. They played very well against Luton. And then since then, it has just fallen away again. And each game, yes, loads of possession. I feel like they had a lot of the ball under Graham Potter. And I could be wrong. I'm just going back to last season, actually, because I want to make sure that I'm not being deluded here. And I'll take that statement back, and I'm not going to edit it out because that would make me a weirdo. No, last year, right? So, again, possession-wise, yeah, I mean, it wasn't too far on. The 5th most in the league with 58% of the ball, okay, over the course of the season. Now, this year, I know it's higher than that. It's at 67% so far. But you've also got to understand the fact that they've played West Ham more. They're always going to have more of the ball than West Ham, Bournemouth, Forest, and Aston Villa to a degree. They haven't played any of, barring Liverpool, you could argue. They haven't really played a lot of the high possession teams yet. They haven't played City, Arsenal, Brighton, Spurs. You know, other teams with higher percentages. Newcastle, 52% this year. But Burnley, they haven't played yet. Fulham, you know, Villa. These are all the teams that are around 50% and above. And I think once Chelsea play them, you'll see that 67% probably drop to similar to last year, mid to high 50s. They were doing a lot of this last year. They were doing a lot of this last season, and nothing has really improved. And there is a sobering statistic in there that I don't think should be ignored by Chelsea fans. 0.8 points per game in the last 35. Tracking towards relegation. And if they don't start winning games soon, there will be major problems at this club, because the requirement of this year was trying to get back into the Champions League. That Champions League money is needed. Absolutely needed. It really is. I want another clip here on TalkSport. I want Chelsea fans to listen to. Have a little listen to this.
Well, on the bench, are you playing Colwell? Are you trying to copy Pep with the centre halves, a fullback? So there is problems there, and I just think Chelsea need to pick a starting team and stick with it. You know, so Sterling missed chances as well, didn't he? Conor Gallagher, should he be starting every game for Chelsea? They're trying to get rid of him. Excuse me, when they're trying to get rid of Ziyech and he played the next game.
Yeah,
Conor Gallagher was up for sale. Now he's playing every game. He's getting the armband. Jackson's got 5 bookings already. He's suspended. You know.
So where does the buck stop? Who do we blame for the situation?
Everyone.
Everyone. So yeah, okay.
Erratic from the owners to spending. The manager's got to do better. You can't be saying Before the last game, he looked quite happy after losing points, Pochettino. Like, he thinks he's got this length of time in a project. We've seen that with Lampard, Potter. If this carries on, and we've got some tough games that they're not guaranteed to win now, teams aren't scared to play Chelsea now as well. Natalie used to go to Stamford Bridge and park the bus. We did when we went there. I think we lost 7 there one time.
Time. A lot of said there by Gabby. There was a tweet that came out yesterday, essentially the board saying we're backing Poch. I could be behaving like a complete cynic and be utterly off the mark here. Completely off target, completely wrong. Then wide of the mark, not off mark. Off the mark, wide of the mark. So I want to get Chelsea fans' opinions here. Is Poch running out of time? And if so, is sacking him really going to fix you? Let me know in the comment sections. Your current points per game tally, 35 odd games, as put out there by TalkSport, will get you relegated and has relegated a team every season in the Premier League. Now, I know there's a number of teams in the Prem this year that are awful. And I know a lot of Chelsea fans will say there's no way we go down. I think the next 2 games, Fulham and Burnley, are highly significant. Your run of fixtures after that is very difficult indeed. Yes, there's players returning, but there has to be confidence growing in your team. And I think the next 2 games are pivotal. Let me know what you think. Phil, give me your opinions below. Please hit like buttons. Please subscribe to the Football Terrace as well. Take care. Goodbye. God bless. And I'll see you all again soon. Peace.